record to this computer. We are recording, I believe.
Yeah, we are.
All right. Hello and welcome everyone to episode 5 of Race Pace Radio. Welcome back, everyone. We know it's been a little bit of a hiatus.
A
Uh,
little bit.
we're your hosts, eh,
Kiara.
and Chris. So this episode we're gonna be talking about all of our thoughts of the beginning of the 2025 motorsports season,
That's all
F1,
we got.
NASCAR. Yeah, NASCAR, IndyCar catching up to where we are currently. But yeah, we'll start with some news. I guess there's a lot, but there's not much because we missed all the big news. Um,
Tired working college students.
yeah,
It's fine.
yeah, yeah. Uh, but then we'll give our thoughts about the beginning of 2025, and let's get into it. So, NASCAR, there's not really much, to be completely honest. I was literally digging the NASCAR app and website, and there was literally nothing. Other than the fact that next weekend is Throwback Weekend for NASCAR. They do it every
Oh,
year, and throwback schemes have been announced for both the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series, which they have Xfinity Series, so the F2 equivalent in NASCAR. They have absolutely slayed with all of their schemes so far that have been announced. They've looked amazing. Um, then the Cup Series has had a few some bangers and some uh could be better. Uh, Chase Elliott's apparent to a lot of people, including me, uh, could have been done a little bit better, especially after last year's. Last year's was to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2014 scheme that he won the Daytona 500 in, and this year's it looks basically like his normal scheme for the the scheme that he
boo,
tried.
tomatoes.
All right. Next is, I guess, the most recent news and the juiciest news for F1.
Oh gosh.
Um,
Yuki's moving to Red Bull and
Woo!
Liam's going to Red Bull sugar free.
Yes, it will forever be Red Bull sugar free, even though the logo doesn't really look like it anymore on the F1 TV graphics.
I'm gonna really miss their duo.
Yeah, I
Like
am.
they were doing like so many Kardashian memes on TikTok, and I was like, I am eating this up. And
Yeah, their TikToks have been amazing. Um, the team just posted one, uh, I think today about with a day in the life of the admin, and it was just
oh
Isaac
really?
doing the whole entire thing, and it was
Oh, that's
so
funny.
funny. It
I
was
haven't seen that one
so
yet.
funny. Um, and yeah, no, I'm gonna miss the dynamic between Yuki and Isaac. Like they were just
Hmm.
made for each other.
I know. Our short kings
Yeah.
together. How cute. Man, I am excited for Yuki and this opportunity though, because
Yes. Yes.
it's
Very,
where he
very, very
belongs.
excited.
Make Daniel proud, please.
Yeah. Um, Definitely make Daniel proud, please. Um, and it will be definitely interesting to see how he does in his home race.
I
Um,
know. Stepping into the main team on his home race.
yeah.
Crazy. No thanks. I would not want to be him, I'm gonna be honest.
No, I would. I mean, last week or not? Yeah, last week for China, everybody was saying I'd rather be Yuki than Liam, but now I kind of would rather be Liam.
Yeah.
Um, Being in the junior team, kind of all the pressure is off of me again. Going into
Yeah,
a
but I mean, I
faster
feel like
car.
it just tanks his like That's true. It is a faster car. I feel like it just tanks his like confidence. I hope it
Yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah.
but it definitely like can, especially with the amount of times Red Bull has flipped a seat mid-season. But I'm just
It's
like,
not even mid-season yet.
we still barely in the beginning.
Yeah. That's
Goodness.
crazy. But I really hope um that Liam does well, does well to tell Red Bull basically to tell off Red Bull management. Um
Yes.
and
Just the
you
two
know,
people we don't like in their board of
yes.
directors.
Yes. And make everybody on social media happy.
Yes.
Like everybody that listens to this podcast happy. Um then I guess next we have IndyCar news. Um, there were two massive penalties after IndyCar's last race. I know Prema got one literally yesterday or the day before.
Yikes.
Um,
I did not
it
know
was
about this.
yeah, I literally saw it pop up the other day. Uh, or yeah, it was yesterday. I pulled up the page on the IndyCar website. They got penalized. They been fined the 83. I believe that's Robert Schwartzman's car, if I'm not wrong. Got fined $25,000 and has to forfeit their 10 championship points that they got, or 10 championship points they got. And then there was one for Colton Herta as well, I believe.
Okay, wait. I think I might have seen that one.
Yeah, I think Colton Herta got a penalty as well. Um, yes, Colton Herta is the same penalty. Um, same penalty. And also all the prize money associated with the race at Thermal, he has to give up. Um,
Yeah, I did not watch Thermal, but I did watch most of St. Petersburg. And did I understand
yes.
anything that was going on? Not really, but I was having a great time. I really
Yeah.
was. I was just like,
Yeah.
go, Pato. You
Yeah.
can do it. Pato
Um,
who?
yeah. Well, Will Buxton, as a lead commentator, pretty good.
Yeah,
Happy for
yeah,
Will.
that's
Very happy for Will. I watched the highlights to Thermal and the highlights to St. Pete. I don't remember if I did or not, but definitely was rooting on Pato. Um, I really thought he had Thermal in the bag,
I know. I watched the highlight of that. I was like, whatever,
but
it's fine.
Alex Palou is right now inevitable in the IndyCar series.
He's so good.
Yes, yes. That battle with Christian Lundgaard, that was insane. But McLaren double podium. So,
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I love a good papaya one too now.
yeah, yeah. We
Oh wait,
love,
no, you were talking about IndyCar.
yeah,
They got two and three.
they got two and three.
I did
But
know that.
it,
I love a papaya 2-3.
yeah, I love a double papaya double podium.
I'm so tired. I'm so sorry.
You're good. Okay. I guess we can get into the
Oh,
season.
what a season. Okay, so I was originally not planning on watching Australia.
Yeah.
I, but I was on spring break, and let's just say my sleep schedule out the window. And so I was up. I was awake, and I watched it, and it was fun. I watched it with my
Yeah.
sister and my brother-in-law, and I'm trying to turn them into F1 fans. Um, and so, but they had a good time. The only thing was I was like, please don't talk when you hear the radio sound. They
Yeah.
talked. It's fine. It's fine. Um, Goodness though. that was a crazy race. That was
Yeah.
very intense. Lots
Yeah.
of people wrecking, lots of action kind of.
Yeah. Uh, they
Um,
got almost all the rookies.
I know. I literally thought I forgot. I knew Kimmy was a rookie, but I was looking towards like the bottom because that's usually where the rookies are.
Yeah.
And just as they get used to the car and everything else. And a lot of them are in like the midfield lower teams. But
Yeah.
he struck out and got a good seat, And so
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I was watching it and I go, Behrman's the only rookie left. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh wait, Kimmy's there. Sorry, Kimmy. It's like, hey, my bad.
Yeah. And even it even got the rookie.
Oh, I know. Yes, I was cackling. I was like, they got Fernando too. No. Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Yeah, I was like, I saw Fernando lose it in the highlights, and I was like, Fernando.
Yeah, they got him, man. I think he didn't he also DNF China?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
because he just let his car slide into the barrier.
yikes. I did not
And
watch China at all, but I did watch Australia.
yeah, Australia was awesome. Lando pulled to win.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Um, Max somehow got that Red Bull to second. Don't know how.
I think okay, I feel like it has to be a rain race because let's be honest, Max can drive in the rain. He
That's true.
can, and
That's
he's
true.
so good at it. And it's like I feel like like we know like Max can get more out of the car
Yeah,
than what other people can. Or it's not even that like he can get more out of it. He just pushes the car to the absolute limit and it's
yeah,
fine. And so it was definitely good. I was happy for Max, I'm not gonna lie, because I know like the
yeah,
car hasn't been like the greats. After seeing what happened like off season of like him being booed and stuff like that, I was happy for him to like
yeah.
I aspire to have Max Verstappen's like I don't care mentality.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the only other driver that really has that mentality was Oscar, and he showed that with him reversing.
That was I literally was screaming. I was like, because Lando almost went and then
Yeah,
Oscar went. And I was like,
yeah,
I was like, you're gonna lose the one too. I was like screaming and then I thought he was out and I was like, no, I'm literally sitting like this. And
yeah,
then like I saw him reverse and then I heard the crowd and
yeah,
I was like, Oscar, you're doing it. And then for
yeah,
him to go on and win China, I'm just like, yes. Like
yeah. Lewis got his first win in
oh
Ferrari
yeah,
Red in the
he
sprint,
did.
along with his first pole. So he got both of those things in the sprint. Watched like the first fifth, like the first like 10 laps of the sprint. Um, it was there was really nothing. It was kind of just the only action on track was honestly Max and Oscar, who was gonna get P2. Um, then
I don't know.
Oscar,
Wasn't Lando like stuck behind someone or something? Like
yeah,
he
Lando was
just couldn't get
stuck
around them?
behind like Lance Stroll.
Um, mm,
He
mm,
was he got like not a great start, and then he said his tires were degrading very fast.
mm. I'll do
Um,
it.
yeah, I would do it. But then Oscar gets his first pole in
Yeah, he
F1
did. Yeah, he did.
and converts that to a win.
I'm
Uh,
loving the McLaren converting poles to wins. Like I need it to
yeah,
just
yeah, keep
keep it
going.
coming. I'm eating it up. I'm eating it up.
Lando,
Like a winner.
yeah, like a winner. Uh, we are McLaren is still at the top of the constructors. Lando is at the top of the World Drivers' Championship. After finishing second. Uh, to Oscar with no brakes. Still don't know how he did that.
I didn't watch. I need to go back and finish and watch like the rest. Like I need to go watch like the last. Wasn't it like 15 laps or 10 laps when it happened?
Yeah, something like that. He just didn't have brakes apparently.
Yikes. Yeah, I want to
Um,
go watch that.
yeah, it was an impressive race. George Russell sn snuck into a podium again. Uh, I mean, it goes to the meme of Dr. Doofenshmirtz of if I had a nickel for every time that George Russell snuck his way into a podium this season, I'd have two
Ooh,
nickels.
Nichols. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Yeah. Um, Carlos got his first points in Williams.
Yes, he did. And Alex absolutely slaying the game. Like,
Yes. Alex Albon.
Alex Albon, the man that you are.
Yes. Yes.
He just seems to
Espe
be like on such like a high. Like, I remember like last year, like I I was kind of Williams girly. I just was like I was a fan of both Logan and Alex, but it
yeah.
was obviously for me it was more Logan.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like you can see the difference between like the morale, their confidence, and like everything just with like they have a new sponsor, which is like helping them a lot more. The car
Yeah.
seems to be like a lot better. You know, it's just
Yeah.
they're not like out there driving tractors anymore. And so it's like it's really nice to see like and I understand like Logan just couldn't get behind that, you know, and as much
Yeah.
as I hate it, how much I wish it would have worked for him. It's just as like really happy for Alex to see him thriving because I know like
Yeah.
him and Logan were close, like they were friends and like at least I think that they were. I don't know, I
Yeah.
could be wrong. Um,
From what
I
I've
am
seen.
however excited that what is it what is that Team Torque or something?
Yeah.
It's Williams
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's coming back. Excited
Yeah.
for that. Carlos on a podcast.
Oh
Freaking
God. I
Alex
mean,
denying Red Bull's call. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
Period queen. Queen
Yes.
activity. King
Uh,
activity.
yes. And then the I saw a clip from it. It was so funny. Uh, I guess Carlos preseason got asked which Disney character he would be, and he goes either Simba or Timon from The Lion King.
He's funny, bro. I love Carlos Sainz. It's
Ye-
been, I will say it's been weird seeing Carlos not in red.
Yeah,
Being a Carlos
definitely.
fan, like Carlos being my number two driver, like really
Yeah,
weird.
yeah,
Um, because
definitely.
like I feel like it not only fits him, but it fits like his brand and like who he is
Yeah,
as a driver. I just feel like through and through, like Carlos Sainz is a Ferrari driver. Like I hate to say it,
yeah.
but like my humble
No,
opinion.
I
Um,
agree. I fully agree. It's been so weird this year seeing him in not red.
yeah, like it
Red
just is.
or
I'm just like,
papaya. Like it's like those are like his two
mm-hmm,
colors.
yeah, and it's just I'm like, this is weird, and but you know, I think that he seems super like super involved, super invested. He's really getting to like,
Yeah.
you know, not. I feel like there were some moments last year where he kind of like sat to the side and not like not not like Red Bull sat to the side, you know, but
Yeah.
just like moments where he had to like take a step aside and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
because Charles is the golden boy.
exactly. And so, you know, it's just nice seeing him like where he like for example, like whenever he got out, what was it like lap three or was it
Yeah.
it was like lap three and he like got out in Australia. One, I was devastated. I was like,
Yeah.
and you know, seeing him struggle a little bit with the car, you know, but I just like that you know, he was at the pit wall helping with like
Yeah.
Alex's strategy and stuff. It
Yeah.
just is like, I love seeing drivers do that because it could be like, you know, you say like your race is ruined, you could just go sit in your room, go do media, and that be it.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, you're choosing to help build and like develop the team even more.
Yeah, that was incredible to see him on the pit wall and make that call
Hmm.
for Alex to come in. when it started raining in Australia. And
That
then
was who didn't come in? Was the Ferraris that didn't.
it was the
I was
Ferraris,
te I was
Max.
terrified for them. I was like, they were slipping. I was like,
Yeah, it was the
oh,
Ferraris, Max, Liam, um, the V carbs, or Yuki, really, because I can't say the both of
oh
them
yeah,
because
poor
poor
Isaac.
poor Isaac. Um,
That
I
moment was
s-
really sweet
yeah,
with Lewis's dad.
yeah. You can see where Lewis gets his empathy from.
Mm-hmm. And just like how gentle like Lewis is as a person. Obviously,
Yeah.
like I know he's aggressive like in a race car, but like anyone would be. But just like,
Yes.
every time I see a video of Lewis Hamilton, he's just very gentle, very calm, and
Yeah.
like, yeah,
He he seems like a normal person.
yeah. I feel
Eh,
like not that like we don't see a lot of drivers' personal lives, because like in a way we don't, which
Yeah.
I'm good with that. But like
Yeah. Same.
I feel like with some of them, it's just like you never know what you're gonna get with them. You don't know if it's
Yeah.
more because like I love Lando, but sometimes I'm like, what's the vibes today? But like I feel like with
Yeah.
Lewis, it's just like consistent.
Yeah. Hashtag
And I'm not
blessed.
saying, yeah, and I'm not saying that like I'm that's not a diss on Lando. Hear me, guys. I love Lando's craziness. Are you kidding me? Have you met me?
Yeah.
Anyways,
And then also from China, the double disqualification from Ferrari. Still Lewis's disqualification is insane to me.
it's pretty, you know. I don't know much about it. I did not watch China. You can yap about China.
Apparently it was the skid block was like half a millimeter too thin. So that was interesting. And then Pierre got disqualified as well. Charles and Pierre got disqualified for the same reason. Their car was too light by
Mm.
1 kilogram, a singular kilogram. It was 799 kilograms instead of 800. Um, that's still sad to me. Like Pierre has been so close to points to start off this year
Hmm.
in both races and both time or like well in Australia he got P11 and then China he gets disqualified. Um, but statement I would have never thought I would say is that Esteban Ocon is the leading Ferrari powered driver in the drivers' standings.
Go SD Bestie!
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it real. I I fell into the lies of social media, and for a
yeah,
long time, I did not like Esteban Ocon. Okay, I did not like him, and it just was because I was listening to what the internet was telling me. But
yeah,
he's like, are you kidding me? Like, he's so like funny.
yeah,
Granted, he might make questionable choices when he drives. Like, he gets penalties. Okay, um,
yeah.
who doesn't at this point? But it's
That's
just
true.
like he seems so happy at Haas, and like same with like, and I feel like he's super excited to take like a rookie under his wing, and
Yeah,
it's just like is a fresh start for him. And I'm a Haas girly, so I love seeing it. I
I'm.
know they kind of struggled. I feel like they really struggled. Like, was Australia? I don't know
Yeah,
how they did China, but I know Australia. I was like,
China.
this is what we're doing. This is the new kick sour, but
China was double points.
that's what it was. Yeah, and then they turned it around. I did see double points for
Yeah,
Haas. I was
China
like,
was double points for Haas.
yay!
I was very happy for both of them. Super happy for Ollie, obviously, because, Ollie Behrman, the rookie that's kind of a rookie, but not really a rookie, but is a rookie. I,
No, I destroyed the car. Sorry, I've been saying that for days.
yeah,
No,
I've been saying for the last few months because it popped up on my TikTok so many times.
destroy
I
the
am
car.
stupid. I am stupid.
Yeah.
Um, or my girlfriend and I will start doing the Radio check, loud and clear.
I call people Muppet now. So
Yeah.
thanks to Lando Norris and Max Futrell, I have inherited some British slang.
Yeah.
Like blokes and
Yeah.
specifically blokes and Muppets. That's really the main thing I've picked up. Um, and it's a problem because I literally will
Yeah.
call somebody a Muppet and like people are like, because
What
I
are
live
you
like in the
talking
southern
about?
US. Like I live in the southern US, we don't call people that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, maybe I should pipe down a little, but honestly, I love the vocab, so I will
Yeah.
continue to call people Muppets.
Yeah.
It's better
I
than
mean,
calling them like jerks and stuff.
yeah, I've noticed that when I talk about F1, especially, I don't say weekend, I say weekend, like the British say it.
Wait, say that one more time.
So I don't say weekend, I'll say weekend.
Oh, you like
Yeah.
enunciate. Oh, I don't
I'll
think
be
I do
like,
that. But
I'll be like, oh yeah, it's the race weekend.
oh, okay, I see. I see the difference.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's the British coming out. But also to annoy my girlfriend, I'll instead of saying aluminum, I will say aluminium.
Aluminium. Yes, I literally forget that, and then like I'll just remember that that's how they say it, and then I'll say it like 5 times. I'm like aluminium. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Max
Also,
Futrell said something on a stream, and I was like,
yeah,
I literally was like, run. In my mind, I was like, run that back. I don't remember what it was. It was like over 2 months ago, but I just was like,
yeah.
what are we saying?
The best was I saw a TikTok about pronunciations. We're going off the rails right now. Uh,
Fine.
it's fine. But I saw a TikTok about pronunciations, and it was an American, a British girl, an American girl, a British girl, and a South African girl, and they were saying
Okay.
different things, and it was so funny because I mean, South African and British were similar on a lot of things, but it was just like they would always tease the American. And then the American and British, whenever the South African said something different, they would tease the South African.
That's
They're like,
funny.
it's funny watching people pronounce different words differently.
Yeah.
It really is. Getting back on topic. Um,
Back to F1.
getting back to F1. There was also an F1 Academy race on for for China. It was their first one of the
There
year.
was. Yeah.
I
I
kind of
missed so
forgot about
much. Oh
that.
my gosh.
I kind of
I
forgot
literally
about
did
that.
not. I I looked at China and I really wanted to because I love just like the vibes. I feel like it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and I just saw the time and I was like, no. I was like, that's not gonna work. Japan, not gonna work. I
Japan
ain't
is
staying
not
up
gonna
that
work,
late.
but
We'll try
Japan,
again in Bahrain.
yeah. Japan though, peak vibes.
I
Peak
know. I
vibes.
literally want to watch it just because I love the circuit. I love the vibes, like quadrants dropping stuff. Like it
I
just does not. I'm
know.
like,
I need
is Lando
that
gonna have a
quad
special helmet? Like, I
I
need to know
need the
everything.
quadrant merch that
I
they're
haven't. I looked at
dropping.
some of it. I like the t-shirt with like the design on like the rib cage. I
Yeah.
think that, or no, it was the hoodie, but
Yeah.
they're the same. They're the same. But
Yeah.
I liked it up right above like the pocket on your rib cage. I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, but I don't know what the back looks like, so I'm not gonna commit to buying that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it when it drops on Wednesday, I think it
When
is.
did it? No, I think it was the second, so Tuesday,
Tuesday.
maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe
So one of
Wednesday.
the rookies, I believe, won race one. Um, one of the Red Bull sponsored drivers, Alicia Palmowski. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
I know, oh
Um,
Lloyd. Woo!
and
Sorry.
then Dorian Pin, won race two,
Oh,
the
nice.
Mercedes
Okay.
driver.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first two races of the F1 calendar.
Nice.
We will, they will be
F2 had a
back.
race, right? F2 had a race Australia, didn't they?
Yes, I believe F2 and F3 had races. I'm not
We're
sure.
so behind.
I
I did
could
not
be
watch the
wrong.
F2. I know that I think Jack Crawford DNF'd, and I was
Yeah,
sad.
yeah. But
Either
yeah,
DNF or I don't know something.
F2 definitely had a race in Australia.
Okay,
I did
so I'm not
not watch
crazy.
that.
I didn't either. I just saw a
Uh,
penalty happen after.
yeah, I saw a couple things after the F2 race. But yeah, I know F2 definitely had their race in Australia. We will,
And they're in preseason testing again.
I guess. I
That's what I've been watching. I'm like, I didn't know we do preseason testing, race, then do preseason testing again. But this is what I get for
um
learning about more motorsports.
yeah, seriously. And we'll have to just learn more for the What is Motorsports series.
Yes.
We just have to learn more. That's all that's telling us.
Yes.
So NASCAR. This will be the long section because there were a bunch of races that we've missed because
I
NASCAR
watched the
decided.
Daytona 500. Jimmy
Yes,
Johnson podium.
yeah, I know.
My inner child. I love it. I
I
was so
was I
happy.
was telling my girlfriend this earlier. It's sad. One of the full-time drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series it is being beaten by Jimmy Johnson, who only ran one race.
I was expecting him to be like on the roster, and then I saw him and I was like, I'm
Yeah,
watching this race. I was like, I'm
yeah,
watching. Then it was utter chaos. And then at the last,
yes,
everyone was taken out at the end, and he just
yes.
made it through. I was like, okay, okay. Because he's sitting in
I
like P30, and I was like, this sucks. I was like, this
yeah,
is the worst.
yeah.
I was still rooting
I
for him though. Even if he
I
would have
was
gotten
root
P30, I would have been like,
yeah, I was rooting for him. I was rooting for Elio Castroneves, who was in the race. He's in IndyCar. He's won the Indy 500 four times. Um, and then Martin Truex Jr. made a return for a one-off race. Made the race, did not finish. He
mm,
DNF'd. He had electrical issues, I think, something like that. He had some sort of issue. Um, but William Byron won the Daytona 500 for a
yeah,
second
he did.
consecutive season. It was an insane finish, as Kara said. Everybody
Yes,
wrecked in the last lap, last corner of the last lap, as per
literally.
usual in the Daytona
Yeah.
500.
Some went
Um,
flying.
yeah. It got rain delayed again for
Oh, it did. Yeah. I was so mad about that.
I was mad too. I think NASCAR fans are perpetually mad at the start time of the Daytona 500
Yep.
because it's like you've been going there for how long, and at like 3 o'clock in the winter it's gonna rain in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, push up the start time so we can at least get some of the race in.
Yeah. Start that
So
bad boy
th
at 9 a.m.
yeah. So they did get some of the race in before it got delayed this year. Don't want to make political statements, but the Orange Man was there, um, to give the command to start engines. He is the first. He is the first
I
sitting
thought that
pre
was
or
Anthony Mackie.
oh no, sorry, yeah, Anthony Mackie was gave the command.
Okay. I
Um,
was like,
yeah, that was my bad. He did an amazing job, to be honest. I remember it. Like he did great job. Pl Claps to Anthony Mackie for actually showing up. Um, but the Orange Man was there. He's the first U.S. president to attend it twice while sitting in office. That was a little tidbit they had, which is interesting. But yeah, it was a crazy finish, race delay. There was a huge penalty after the race that got rescinded a couple weeks later. Um, the 19 team, which sat on the pole for the 500, had an L2 penalty, so they had lost 100 drivers' points, 100 owners' points, and were fined $100,000, and their crew chief got suspended for 4 races, but that all got upheld by the Motorsports Appeal Council, which is kind of like their Supreme Court, essentially. Um,
sorry.
they're like higher up court, essentially. So yeah, that was Daytona. Atlanta, Christopher Bell won a pretty chaotic race. It was a lot of action, a lot of passing for the lead. And then Carson Hocevar, one of the second year drivers, uh, ruffled some feathers in a P2 finish. He got a stern talking to down pit lane by Ross Chastain, one of the trackhouse drivers, after the race. Then Coda was the third race of the year, moved up this year. Uh, F1 fans obviously know Coda.
That's why I
It
want. That's literally. I was like, Coda. I was like, I'm watching this.
Yeah, Coda. We did so there was a little bit of a difference this year. They did the shorter
Hmm.
national circuit, I believe it was called. Um, just because it's a long, boring race. The NASCAR race is a long, boring race on the main circuit. Uh,
Yes, I can agree with that.
it
I
was a
can see
very
why.
Yeah, it was a very boring race. The first year they did it, it wasn't because it decided to downpour that
No.
race. Um, just decided to downpour in the middle of it. They had to actually call the race because it was too dangerous to drive. Um, but this year it was a lot of fun. Four cars were battling for the win. Christopher Bell won his second consecutive race, which was pretty cool. Wasn't expecting him to win at all. Uh, then after that was Phoenix. Bell wins again for his third race in a row. Uh, it was a photo finish with Denny Hamlin. Uh, it was, I think, a green white checkered finish, and it was a photo finish. It was really
I'll
a
just see
fun
that.
race, and they had an option tire, so a softer tire, red walled, kind of like F1's. Um, and it made strategy a lot more interesting. Um, and then Vegas, it was Josh Berry who stole a win and made it uh five consecutive races that a driver with the last name starting with the letter B won the race.
There you go.
It was a very weird tidbit that they said after the race, and I was like, huh, interesting. Uh, it was very much a strategy race. It kind of got strung out at the end, and Josh Berry had one of the best cars and won Wood Brothers Racing's 101st Cup Series victory in their
Nice.
75th season. Um, and then the most recent race is Homestead last weekend. Um, Kyle Larson, who many IndyCar fans know because he attempted to do both the Indy 500 and Coke 600 last year. He won on a not final lap, but final like 5 lap pass on his teammate. Um, and also forgot to mention uh, the 2023 champion blew up. Ryan Blaney blew up at Phoenix and then blew up again at Homestead with like 15 laps to go. Uh,
Mm,
Bubba Wallace, Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace rounded out the podium at Homestead, who Larson had to pass. Um, and yeah, it was overall a pretty good race. I don't really know because I missed most of it because I was in New York City seeing the Book of Mormon. So, uh, yeah, that is all in NASCAR. And then the last part of what we've been talking about is IndyCar. Uh, their season started in early March, I want to
I think
say.
so. Let me see. Yeah, March 20. No, go back. Sorry, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
You're
my
good.
computer. I'm trying to look it up. I just looked this up. Okay. March 2nd was
March
St.
2nd,
Petersburg.
was St. Pete, Firestone Grand Prix of St. Pete. Alex Pillow won, left picked up where he left off from 2024 as the champion. Then he won Thermal at the Thermal Club last
He did.
weekend. Yeah, last weekend.
Yeah,
Um, and McLaren, Arrow McLaren got the double podiums. Uh, with IndyCar and F1 in the same weekend. Pato Award finished second. Christian Lundgaard finished third. Um, and yeah, I didn't really watch much of it, or didn't watch it because
I didn't either. I watched St. Petersburg. I did
yeah,
watch St. Petersburg,
I didn't even get to watch St. Pete. I was out with my girlfriend's family, so I
but I'm kind of like, I don't know much. Like, it's not that I don't know much about IndyCar. I'm just like, I know that there are similarities and differences. Um,
yes,
I just, when I watched St. Pete, I just wanted to see the fast cars go fast because it was like before F1. And I was like,
yeah,
I can get a little taste, you know? But
yeah,
I'm gonna try to like learn more like in detail about IndyCar because I do like IndyCar. I wanted to go to the Nashville race last year and I didn't
yeah,
because I didn't know a thing. Like I knew what the cars looked like. I knew some of the
yeah,
drivers just from the F1 lore and all the things. But
yeah.
it was like, but now like this year, I'm like, I actually really want to get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I always say I want to get into IndyCar more, and then don't watch anything until the Indy 500.
Fair enough.
But this year I was able to watch at least the highlights to Thermal. Um, I do want to watch a little bit more as well because it's on Fox, and
Hmm.
it's their first year doing IndyCar. Plus our our lovely Will Buxton from Drive to Survive and F1 TV is the lead commentator. So along with James Hinchcliffe and shit, I forget his name. Uh, but yeah, along with James Hinchcliffe, who many F1 fans know, the broadcast looks very, very good. Um, as a NASCAR fan, I'm very jealous that IndyCar looks that good. Uh, and it's really showing that Fox doesn't care about NASCAR anymore. Uh, but finally, to wrap out the episode, we have a little bit of a preview for the next few races in all three series. Uh, First is Japan for F1.
I'm
Japan will
excited.
be next weekend.
I won't
Uh,
watch it, but I am excited for it.
yeah, I won't watch it either. I will probably end up just watching the highlights on Sunday when I wake up.
Yeah.
Probably. Either Sunday or Monday. But yeah, Japan is going to be really interesting. First race post the Yuki Liam swap. I'm
Yuki's home
really,
race.
yeah, it's Yuki's home race. I'm really excited to see how he does in the main Red Bull team.
Hmm.
I think there's an outside shot. He could get a podium if he performs well.
Yeah, if he can get the car doing what it needs to do.
Yeah. And then I mean, honestly, I right now I don't think anyone's stopping Papaya.
Mm-mm. And I hope they don't.
I hope they don't either. But I really don't think anybody is going to stop that team. They're clicking on all cylinders right
And
now.
I think part of it really is just because of the fact that like McLaren and Aston Martin are
Yeah,
the only two teams that have the same driver lineup like
yeah,
last year into this year. Like I knew this year was going to be a big shift. I just didn't think it was going to be like that big because we had to realize like
yeah.
a lot of these drivers are new to the cars, which and like like first glance you look at an F1 car, you're like they're all the same. We
No,
know they're not. Like we know they're not,
yeah,
but
yeah,
and so it's
definitely.
like I think, maybe the season will get a little bit more interesting again Not
Yeah.
interesting again. I'm not saying I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm saying like hopefully we'll have like another interesting season. Um,
Yeah.
just like once drivers start getting used to their cars and like how they work and you know,
Yeah, it's not like
what was
you're
the option they kept yelling at Lewis to use? Was it like K1 or something?
yeah, K1.
It's like
And
Lewis just click K1, like just do it.
Lewis is like, I'm a 7-time world champion. I know how to do this. Please leave me
That
alone.
was I think that I definitely was like being sassy and but I thought it was like I was more like laughing than anything.
Yeah, I was
I
laughing as well. I was like,
I
wow,
don't think that
Lewis.
I don't think he deserved hate and then I
No.
don't think that Lewis needed to drag Max into it either.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I definitely don't think that that was deserved, but yeah. Um, it was funny to me.
Yeah, I was and then like let's add that to the words of wisdom. I was like, Ferrari, you guys are on something this year.
Yeah, it must be the water. Um, but yeah, I have a feeling that it will probably, I don't know. I know it will be, I have a feeling it will be a McLaren one too. I just don't know who's going to be first and who's going to be second.
Lando, Lando.
Like, I want
Let's
Lando.
go, Lando. Lando is okay.
I want it to be Lando, because Lando is my favorite driver.
Me
But
too.
I
I
really
love
don't know.
Oscar though. I just love
Yeah,
Oscar too.
yeah, I
I
know.
literally I aspire to have like I have very dry humor and I think that's a part of the reason why I like Oscar so much just because like
Yeah,
on his humor level can I get it to a certain
yeah,
extent. But I like I wish my dry humor was like as good as his and yeah,
yeah.
that makes me
His is
sad.
good. His lands like so perfectly
He's
every
like
time. Yeah. I mean, his mom too.
and his sister I follow
Yeah.
I don't know if I follow his sister or if I've used I think I do on TikTok. Anyways, she like made a video on TikTok and it was just like her walking
Yeah.
home and it just like she's like Oscar, Oscar, Oscar. I was cracking up. It was so funny.
Yeah, same. I saw that video. The best was I guess McLaren had Oscar doing like this game on a TikTok filter
Hmm.
or an Instagram filter, and they posted it, and Nicole, his mom, commented going, "Ask, when you're done playing games on your phone, can you give me a call? I would like to congratulate you on your win."
That's funny. And then okay, a couple more things I'll say about papayas. So, did you watch Australia?
I watched the highlights mostly.
Okay, so the cool down room.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure Lando said a bad word because it was like
Yeah, I
he
saw the
literally said something.
clip.
He looked at the camera, and I was trying to tell our group chat about it. I was like, did anybody else see that? And everyone was like, no. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, it was right there, but there was no audio. So I was
Yeah.
like, thank you, Formula One, for keeping the audio out for a minute and then putting it
Yeah.
in because it was just like the
Yeah,
way
because you
because
saw
it went
Max's
in
face too.
it went in the moment after he said that, and then they were laughing.
Yeah, you saw Max's face. Like I saw Max's face and I
You
was
were
like,
like, or something.
yeah, he was like, "Oop." He was like, oop.
And then
Um,
George went like and like
yeah,
laughed. It was funny or something, like tapped his leg. And then
yeah,
what was it? I think I did see one thing about the China cool down room, and I think
yeah,
it was that Lando said multi 21 Seb
yeah, he did.
as a
Yeah, he
joke
did.
to Oscar.
Yeah,
But
he did.
I don't know the context behind it. Somebody said that they were like going through team building or something. I have no idea. I don't
They
know.
were doing something, and then all I heard was like I saw the clip of when he says it, and like kind of afterwards, and Lando's like leaning back in the chair and like laughing, and he goes, "Oscar, Oscar, multi 21 Seb."
Yeah, that made me laugh. No, like I understand like the whole that whole beef with Seb and Mark
Yeah,
Webber, like that wasn't funny at the time, but I
yeah.
thought it was funny. It was like I
I
love
look,
Lando and Oscar's relationship, like as friends
yeah.
and stuff. I
I
love the
feel like
little
that.
nicknames and
Yeah, they definitely have a good relationship.
it's like they
Um,
respect. I feel like there's also like respect. Like they both know like they're good drivers.
yeah. Um, the best was out of China. One of the videos was Mercedes posted a video of George and Kimmy playing mahjong,
I did not see this. I
and
missed much.
it was like this whole intense graphic and everything, like intense thing. And then
Hmm.
George goes, "Kimmy, do you know how to play this?" And Kimmy goes, "George, I thought you knew how to play this." And then just like both look at each other and just start laughing.
That's funny.
I was just like,
Icons.
"Oh God." It's like who let them play mahjong? Um, but yeah, no. And then Oscar and or George and Lando had a moment where Lando or George tried to make Lando smile.
Oh yeah, I remember I said that to somebody and I was like, yeah, somebody were to do that to me, I would throw hands personally.
Yeah, it's just like
There's a time
just
and place for like physical contact, but like the media pin, just someone reaching over and touching your face, that's not it for me.
yeah. And then but
It's
I
really
just
sweaty right after a race.
yeah, it's just like
Mm-mm.
ooh. But yeah, that is our preview for Japan. It is interesting
About
to
to go to a
do.
triple header.
Yeah, it also starts a triple header. We did Japan, into Bahrain,
Bahrain into
into
Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia. Um, Saudi Arabia and Bahrain are very good times for us here on the
Yes,
East
we will
Coast
be
of the United
watching.
States.
Yes,
I am very excited to actually be able to get up on Sunday and watch a race.
yes.
Uh, I'm going to do that. But also it is very odd to kind of do these predictions for NASCAR because it is technically two races
Oh,
that are
Saudi
gonna
Arabia
have.
starts at noon, so it starts 1 p.m. your time. I'm
Yeah,
so sorry to interrupt you. I did not
you are
watch it. I
good.
just was looking and I got excited.
Yeah, no, they're really, really good time start
They
times.
are. Let's
I
get
was like, yes.
it.
Um, I mean, we'll probably have to do a recording
Oh, for sure.
after the triple header.
Hmm.
We're very good at these triple header videos.
Yes, we are.
I gotta say, like that's
Don't
our
be
bread and
shy.
butter. Um, but it's very weird to do NASCAR previews because there will be probably two races before this episode comes out because, yeah, because
They
we
go
just
like every weekend,
yeah they
pretty
go
much.
every weekend for 38 weeks except for on Easter Sunday.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Uh, but so there's the Martinsville race, which is actually tomorrow as of recording, us recording. It will be on Sunday, March 30th. Um, very, very short track, half mile. It's nicknamed the paperclip because from aerial, it kind of looks like a paperclip. Um, it's literally the broadcast usually describes it is two drag strips with two 90-degree turns on either end.
Fair enough.
So it's an interesting track. It's a lot of fun to watch usually. A lot of beating and banging because it's a short track and it ends up being kind of like bumper cars. The truck race already happened yesterday, so on Friday, March 28th, Daniel Hemrick won. The Xfinity race actually ended before we started recording, so I can say who won it now. It literally ended like 20 minutes before we started recording.
Oh, nice.
So, Austin Hill won that race. Cup race has Christopher Bell on pole, so maybe he'll get his fourth win of the season. Uh,
Time will tell.
but time will tell. But also there are three very, very, very strong Hendrick cars right behind him. Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, and Chase Elliott. That is the top four. So who knows? And then next weekend, so by the time this actually comes out, uh, it will be Darlington weekend, throwback weekend, a lot of fun. Xfinity and Cup will happen. It's gonna be anyone's game, but probably Kyle Larson will be very good. Um, he's usually pretty good at Darlington. And by the time we record again, we will have to predict, or there will be only one race before after we after the triple header for F1. And then after I guess after Japan, yeah, it's the week after Japan. The week of Bahrain is the GP of Long Beach, probably one of the most iconic street circuits in America. Um, Probably the second most famous street circuit in the world behind Monaco, because it's Monaco. Uh, the question will be,
Sorry, I muted myself, but I said we're going to
yeah, we're going to Monaco. Um, Question is going to be, is anybody going to be able to catch Alex Palou and Chip Ganassi racing? I say yes. I think Pato will win.
Arrow McLaren, let's go. Okay, I
Yes.
have to say something about Arrow
Okay.
McLaren,
Yes.
okay? Because they're for so McLaren's F1 team went with a teal this year. They went with a
Yes.
teal blue instead of just like their blue. And just like in my mind, I really wish that the McLaren blue IndyCar would have been the teal. I really wish
Yeah.
I wish it would have been like seamless across, which I know like they're different motorsports, yada yada yada. I just in my mind, I just am like it would just be so nice.
Yeah. And honestly, it wouldn't clash with Scott Dixon's car as much. Um,
Yeah.
I know
'Cause
Owen and
wait,
Casey from
okay.
The Underground Circuit Pod, they went to St. Pete and they said
Mm-hmm.
it was really hard to tell the difference between Nolan's car and Scott Dixon's car when they were going around the circuit. You had to like really look for the sponsorships.
Mm-hmm. That was my thing I saw. I like just noticed it though. Like when I first saw the McLaren cars, I was like beautiful. And then when I
Yeah.
really like looked at them, it was like maybe a week or two ago, I was like, they should have made it teal. I was like, dang.
Yeah. That would
It's
have
okay
looked
though.
really good. Would have looked really good. Um,
McLaren, hire me. Arrow McLaren, hey.
yeah.
I have
Um,
some ideas.
yeah, definitely. Um, I I mean, I have some ideas too. Like McLaren, if you want to hire us,
Please.
please.
I'm gonna send please in an email 50 times.
But yeah, Long Beach is going to be really exciting. I have never actually watched the Long Beach GP, but I really want to. So, and it I don't think it's going to clash with a NASCAR race for once. Um, so
I don't know. Whenever I watched, it was Coda, it was St. Pete and Coda were the
yeah,
same day. And it literally went back to back. Like I think I
yeah,
watched motorsports from like, I don't know, for like 6 hours, I guess. I don't know. It was just
yeah,
like however long. Like I turned it on, IndyCar was on. And then it was like 6 p.m. and it was like NASCAR was ending. And I was like, wow, what a good day. What a good day
yeah.
to
It's a
love
beautiful
cars
day.
going fast.
Yeah, definitely. It just sucked last weekend because Thermal and NASCAR were on at the exact same time.
Boo. They need to
Uh,
plan that better, especially considering like they're both on the
Fuck.
same
Yeah. I was
whatever.
just like,
Fox, hire me. I have ideas.
yeah. Honestly, Fox, hire any NASCAR fan and your broadcast would be like 10 times better. Not gonna lie. I feel like even Joe Schmo on like X has better ideas than what NASCAR on Fox is doing right now. But that's beside the point. That's a rant for another day. Um, but I think that's it, unless you have anything else you want to add.
Not that I know of. Just go Lando Norris, go Oscar Piastri, go
Yeah,
McLaren.
yeah. Um, we will see you guys in what, 3, 4 weeks, something like
Something
that.
like that. We're gonna try to plan it for sure.
Yeah, so we can do it right after F1's next triple header. Thank you all for watching or listening. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, do the things YouTubers tell
Do
us
the
to.
things.
Yeah, do the things. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, uh, and follow both of us individually on social media. Those will be in the show notes below in description. Race Pace Radio is a part of the McCurney Studio Podcast Network. We will see you all in a few weeks, and bye.
Bye.